and now we're on more familiar roads. If I give it, I don't know, 40%. I love this word. Are you ready for it? Instantaneous. It's instantaneous, the shifts. There tends to be, let me just close this sunroof a tad. Sorry, I'm not flexing. Just get one press of the sunroof button and it closes right up like a champ. So while we're waiting for this Nissan question, while we're waiting for this Nissan, while we're waiting for Christmas before this Nissan Quattro comes. Yes guys, what is going on? I hope you're all well and welcome back to another video. In this video we've got the Audi S3 Sportback behind me and we're going to be going out for our first drive courtesy of Audi Uk Press. The Audi S3 has always appealed to me because I see it as the perfect daily and also the perfect fun little weekend car. So yeah, let's get out in the car now and see whether it does what it says on the tin. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the Audi S3 Sportback. It's not the Spring edition, which comes with a few other bits, including the 19-inch wheels. We have got 18s, but we'll get around to that in a second. But guys, we have to appreciate how good this looks. And I know I'm not a fan of the chrome, but I think the red, the silver mirrors, the side bits really go hand in hand, especially with the wheels being silver as well. But yeah, it is the S3 and it's a hatchback, so we know what we expect from our hatchbacks, doing the daily commute to work, as I showed you guys earlier, and having fun, which I hope we can do on our first drive this afternoon/evening. But yeah, having a look around the car, straight away you notice this. And the first thing I did when I got this car, those of you that follow me on Instagram, is I made a proper effort of showing how excited I was, because a pan roof, sunroof, but the one that actually go all the way down, for me, that's a proper chicken dinner winner. But yeah, angles wise, I think it's modern, so don't try and compare it to those of like the 2018, the 8V and the 8P chassis. Compare it to whatever's in its range. So that's the GTI. I would go as far as even saying the Focus ST, but for me, Audi, when it comes to design, elegance and sportiness, cannot be beaten without going over the top. With it being the S3, we don't have the oval like we had on the RS models. We have got a quad pipe, so as you can see on the rear, we've got quad tips there. And finally, walking around to this side, you can see we've got 18-inch wheels, front and back. Moving to the interior, you can see what we've got here. It's an Audi, you're gonna have good quality interior parts. Nice, sorry, I did that off camera, but I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing. The feeling is amazing. The interior is second to none. I'm not fully convinced on that gear stick yet. I'm not fully convinced. It does look quite 747 Boeing-esque, but interior wise, the size of that screen, the virtual cockpit, steering wheel, meh. I'll say meh in terms of, it's an S model, and I don't know, flat bottom for me, that screams Audi, and I was quite surprised to find that this one did not have it. But yeah, interior wise guys, we know what it's all about. With this being the Sportback and the 5-door, because it's a Sportback, it's the 5-door anyway, you can see we've got ample space here in the back, and the interior in the back continues. And I even noticed this, have a look at it. It's got the cup holders in the back as well guys. But yeah, like I said, we're losing a tiny bit of light here, so yeah, let's jump in the car and go out for a drive. Out and about now, efficiency mode, and we've got active cruise control. That's something that I've never experienced before on any car that I've owned, and I'd say it's a game changer. So it's not my it's my first drive, because today was when the car was delivered, hence you can see we're losing a bit of light, but I used it on the motorway and it's so relaxing. Sure, you're not going to let go of the steering wheel or just be crazy with all of the gadgets you get, such as the lane assist, which means as soon as you verge, I like this word, as soon as you verge over the line, it immediately puts you back nice and gently, gentler than a lot of the other cars that I have been out that has it. The active cruise control though, for me, someone that does long journeys, and with this being, in my opinion, a great daily to have, efficient, it's a 2-litre, it's not crazy, it's 310 brake horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. That is a no-brainer. That is an absolute no-brainer, and I think going back into my car now, I'm gonna miss having that 100%. So while we're pootling around in efficiency mode, I'm looking at it, and when we're doing about 40 miles an hour, we're actually doing 40 miles to the gallon. And it's got the coasting feature, so when you do take it off, it does recharge the auxiliary battery, which helps the start-stop function. But more importantly, you know you're not going to be in the shell garage every time you go. So that's efficiency and comfort, and we'll probably make a separate video because I love playing around with the gadgets and the efficiency in driving modes and whatnot. But that same drive select button just needs to be pressed a couple of times and we get to dynamic. It's also got an individual mode, but we're in dynamic now and we're in S mode, so that's the sportiest gear. So it's going to try and hold on a tiny bit in terms of the gears. And now we're on more familiar roads. If I give it, I don't know, 40%. I love this word. Are you ready for it? Instantaneous. It's instantaneous, the shifts. And a little crack out the back. It is, you know those bangers you had in primary school that you dash on the floor? They call them bangers. I don't know what, hopefully I'm saying an appropriate word here because I am going to show my age here, but I do know the kids tend to use this word bang as something rather peggy 18. So as I was saying, that it's a new car, so we're not going to expect it to sound crazy good. But something I did notice when I was playing around with this earlier on my lunch break is it's got an individual mode, and that individual mode actually allows you to change how it sounds, whether you want a lot of that active sound design being pumped into the cabin or whether you want it just to be less pronounced. So this car's got quite a lot to play around with, but we're losing light, as I said, so yeah. Woof, Quattro. There tends to be, let me just close this sunroof for Taz. Sorry, I'm not flexing. Just get one press of the sunroof button and it closes right up like a champ. With the Quattro system, it's very, very confidence inspiring, hence why you get the stigma from the other brands. I'm not going to try and label brands here, but the other brands that tend to do a rear-wheel drive based car, everyone's like, oh yeah, GTI, you'll go fast. This is the Vag group, so I'm allowed. The Quattro boys, like, there's nothing wrong with Quattro, there's nothing wrong. It might not be your cup of tea, but in terms of, like we said, something all year round, all weather, Quattro is great. It's one of the best systems out there when it comes to four-wheel drive. If you come forward, I'll let you go, so that way I can accelerate out of first gear into second and into third. We're only going to go up to 30, but look, just first, second, 30, done. I'll let you come as well, so I can do it again. Come on in, come on in, come on. Yeah, so while we're waiting for this Nissan question, so yeah, while we're waiting for this Nissan, yeah, so while we're waiting for Christmas before this Nissan Qashqai comes. So there was a bit of traffic on the way home on the car park, which is the M25. I did have a few heads turn in, whether it's because of the Tango red metallic paint that's on the car, or whether it's just a car that screams, I'm new, look at me. Outside, inside, you can tell straight away. My partner even got in her car and she was like, ooh, look at this. She actually don't talk like that. She's probably like, oh, look at this. So it's definitely something that I think most people can appreciate. So coming out of this junction here, plant it, foot down. Now the power comes in. So there is a bit of lag, and I don't know whether that's something that's probably how I'm driving the car, whether it's built into the car to stop the wheel spin. But tyres look half decent. But we'll get around that. And like I said, this is my first drive, so it's nothing that I'm going to be able to give you loads of information on. And luckily, I have got the car for quite some time, so I'm going to be able to give a proper experience of how it is to own this car, drive this car rather. So, disclaimer, I don't really dress like that to work. That was simply for the video, as you know. Control and shift, go and check out the Tim Williams collection, support the channel, get a lovely t-shirt. We have got a few others on the way as well, so make sure you go and check them out. But yeah, back to the video. It's a bit of atmosphere. So yeah, if we just pin it round here, bit of delay, changes gear. Oh yes sir, oh yes sir. This car doesn't feel like it's overwhelming any single component. And for me in a hot hatch, it's a must. So you tend to have Quattro or any version of a four-wheel drive car always tends to work very well in tandem with the suspension and other parts. Some other cars, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, when I jump in them and I drive it, I'm like, oh, this car tends to be a bit too fast for the chassis. But this is bang on. This is bang on. So hats off to Audi for doing such a great job. But other than that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Cheers, mate. And I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Yes, stay tuned.